Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya. Brahman Shivanarottamam. Devi Saraswati Vyasam. Tato Jagudhiranjana. Dantamprayeshu Pavadreshu. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavad-gītamāśloke Bhagavad-gītamāśloke. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna, text 41. Adrishtva Anyatamam Loke Adrishtva Anyatamam Loke Shila Udarya Gunaihi Samam Shila Udarya Gunai Samam Aham Udaha Abhavam Aham Sutobham Abhavam Vishnu Garbha Iti Sutaha Vishnu Garbha Iti Sutaha Adrishtvanyatavam Loke Shilauddhaya Gunai Samam Aham Sutobham Abhavam Vishnu Garbha Iti Sutaha Adrishtvanyatavam Loke Shilauddhaya Gunai Samam Aham Sutobham Abhavam Vishnu Garbha Iti Sutaha Adrishtva, not finding Anyatamam, anyone else, Loke, in this world, Shila Avadharya Gunaihi, with the transcendental qualities of good character and magnanimity, Samam equal to you. Aham, I, Sundara, the son of both of you. Abhavam became Krishna Garbha, celebrated as born of Krishna. Eating thus, Sutaha, I am known. Translation and purport by Divine Grace of Sri Charananda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Since I found no one else as highly elevated as you in simplicity and other qualities of good character, I appeared in this world as Prishnigarba, or one who is celebrated as having taken birth from Prishni. Please read the translation. Since I found no one else as highly elevated as you in simplicity and other qualities of good character, I appeared in this world as Prishnigarba, or one who is celebrated as having taken birth from Vishnu. Purport. In the Treta Yuga, the Lord appeared as Prishnigarba. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Prishnigarba iti soyam Treta Yuga Ataro Lakshyate. That's a good purport clarification. Canto 10, chapter 3, text 41 of Srimad Bhagavatam. ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणीचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Lord Krishna is telling Mother Devaki why he appeared as Dasa. Directly Krishna is saying, Adrishtva. Adrishtva means to be able to see or to be able to identify someone. Adrishtva means not being able to identify someone. So Adrishtva, Anyatamam, anyone else. Adrishtva, Anyatamam, not finding anyone else. Loke, in this entire world. Sheila Avdharya Gunaihi Samam. What is it that Krishna is saying? Is that able to find anyone in this world? Samam, equal to Vam, both of you. In what? Referring to this both refers to Krishna's parents, Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. What is it Krishna is not able to find equal to both of them in the entire world? Sheila Avdharya Tulaihi, in uh, simplicity and other good qualities of good character. Prabhupada translates this as with transcendental qualities of good character and magnanimity. So not being able to find anyone with similar good qualities and excellent character and magnanimity. Okay, so Krishna has identified these special qualities in his parents. So how did Krishna reciprocate? That Krishna is saying, Aham, because of this, oh my dear mother and father, Aham Sudha Ahabam, I decided to become your son. Krishna Garma iti Shuddha and became recognized, famous as Krishna Garma, the son of Mother Krishna, one who appeared from the Garma of Krishna and became celebrated as Krishna Garma. So these transcendental qualities are so important for a devotee to cultivate when it attracts Krishna personally in their life. as we see here in the case of Mother Devaki and Vasudeva. Why have we come to Krishna consciousness? We have come to Krishna consciousness to actually develop these great divine qualities for Vaishnava qualities, godly qualities. God is Krishna and He is the supreme soul, and we, the Jiva, being part and parcel of Krishna, are tiny souls. But in terms of quality, we have the same qualities as Krishna. So, if Krishna is God and we are all part and parcel of God, we must be godly. So, those godly qualities has to be cultivated, developed. The soul originally is pure, but is being covered by material qualities of pride, harshness, duplicitous nature, and so on and so forth, being greedy, etc. So we have to uncover ourselves from all these bad qualities and manifest the good qualities of the soul, because God is all good. Therefore, the creation of God, namely the spirit souls, all of us, are also God's good creation. So that good godly qualities has to be manifested by the practice of devotional service or Krishna consciousness or the process of bhakti. So then only we can approach God. Prabhupada says one place, God is fire, and therefore, if we have to approach God, we also have to have the fiery quality. Because in fire, you put fire, there's no reaction. You put anything else other than fire, it will burn out. So similarly, if you have to approach God or become dear to God or attract God's attention, then you also have to develop godly qualities. Otherwise, you cannot approach God. Krishna is Param Pavitra, supremely pure. If we are contaminated, we cannot approach God. Elsewhere, it is described, Samasta Gunagana Thama. The Lord is the reservoir of unlimited transcendental qualities. The reservoir of transcendental qualities. So therefore, if we don't develop godly qualities, how we can approach Him? How we can attain Him? How we can enter the kingdom of God? Not possible. Therefore, good character is a basic ingredient in spiritual life or in a Vaishnava's life. So here, Krishna is glorifying Mother Devaki and Vasudeva as having a highly elevated character and being very simple in their personality. Simplicity. So what is simplicity? Simplicity means 8 things. First of all, being free from diplomacy. Number 1. Number 2, being free from duplicitous nature, which includes even mental duplicity. Number 3, being simple-minded, not very complex. Being simple-minded. Number 4, being plain and simple. Simple in his living, in his habits, in his personality, in his possessions, not being attached to too many material possessions. So being plain and simple. Number 4. Number 5, being frank and open-minded. Number 6, being straightforward in one's dealings. Number 7, not being cunning in one's behavior. Then, not cheating, having cheating tendency to mislead others. Then, being honest. And finally, being a thorough gentleman. So these things are aspects of simplicity. Prabhupada says, we have to approach the spiritual master with this simplicity. Then you will benefit by approaching a spiritual master. Otherwise not. If you are very cunning, very complex-natured, not frank, not open-minded, diplomatic, duplicitous, he is not a fit candidate for spiritual life. Not being straightforward, not being simple, being very adambara. Unfortunately, if you see, the present age we are living in is called Kali Yuga. The very word Kali means opposite of all what we discussed, hypocrisy. What attracts Krishna's attention is the nature of simplicity in a person. But Kali Yuga is exactly opposite, hypocrisy. Putting up a false personality, putting up a false image of oneself to impress others, to attract others' attention. Putting up a false show for the sake of others, so that one will be regarded high in esteem by others. Exactly opposite nature of what Krishna is saying here. Basically something what you are not, you're putting up a show. In Kali Yuga, you can see by and large everywhere this is predominant. A false personality, not me, not being myself, false personality. So these are all called anarthas. Unless you give up all these things, you cannot really make progress in spiritual life, even by practicing the principles of bhakti, because both will not go hand in hand. At one point, you have to give up these things and pursue only bhakti. Yes. Bhakti has nothing to do with any of these diplomatic, duplicitous, hypocritical principles and nature. One place, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, simplicity is the first qualification of a Vaishnava. First qualification of a Vaishnava. One has to present himself simply before the spiritual master. Plainly before the spiritual master. Not put up a show in front of the spiritual master. We will discuss this idea a little more as we go forward. You can see this in the life of Srila Prabhupada also, how simple he was. Although he was the Acharya of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, founder Acharya of the worldwide Hare Krishna movement, and representing the Supreme Lord in his own parampara, such high, elevated spiritual stature Prabhupada is having, yet his personal life was very simple. His character was spotless. He was faultless. Saralata. Saralata also means being simple-minded. Being simple. Saralata. Simplicity. One place, one devotee was telling how Prabhupada in Mayapur, how he lived. Initially, before the present Mayapur temple came up, as we see today, decades back, 5-6 decades back, it all started in a small thatched roof. It's just 12 square feet space and a thatched roof where Prabhupada lived. And between his living quarters and where he used to work, there was a small, thin partition within the 12 square feet. And there was a small veranda, a garden back of this thatched roof, and for him to take a massage. And there was a hand pump for him to take bath. This is where Prabhupada was living, in 12 square feet thatched roof area. So the devotees felt little bad. So they apologized to Prabhupada, saying that, Prabhupada, please excuse us because we could not provide you proper residential facility. Prabhupada said, no, it's perfectly all right. Even if you build a palace for me, I would be very comfortable and happy in this simple arrangement. See how naturally Prabhupada is speaking. You can see a similar thing in Prabhupada's simple nature. This is one quality I'm picking up. In another instance, in Mumbai, in Bombay, erstwhile Bombay, this was in 1975. Prabhupada's quarters where he would stay was very simple, clean, just minimum facilities to make it functional. That's all. A simple cot was there, and nothing else. And his servant quarters also was just next to him only. There was no separate servant quarters. And just for the sake of people who come to meet him, they should have comfort. So in his darshan room meaning where Prabhupada would meet people, he had laid down one mattress. Otherwise in his room, mattress also was not there. It was a simple flooring, very simple flooring. Mat also was not there. But so that people are comfortable, he had laid one mattress. And for him to sit as very simple asan, a small desk, and one book stand for keeping his books. That's all. He was very comfortable. There was a third instance. This was in Japan. The leaders of ISKCON, they got to know that Prabhupada is soon visiting Japan, and there was no proper arrangement for Prabhupada to actually stay. So somehow, hurriedly, they identified one apartment, and somehow got the people vacated, made arrangement for them to stay elsewhere. And a few days Prabhupada was visiting Japan, and somehow they could not make good arrangement. Absolutely no infrastructure. The house was not furnished only. That flat rather was not furnished only. They only had one mat on the ground and one small desk. Nothing was there in that flat. So one guest had come, one Japanese man had come to meet Prabhupada. He said, this arrangement looks to be too simple. Prabhupada said, yeah, it's perfectly all right. Perfectly all right. I have no issue like that. So like that you can see his simple nature. First quality. Second quality, you can see based on time, place, circumstance, his character or his personality does not change. No putting up a false show. Oh, Japan, such a technologically advanced country. Important people are coming to meet me, so I should present myself differently. Nothing. He is the same person everywhere. These are two special qualities of Prabhupada. Third quality of Prabhupada is being open-minded, because that is another aspect of being simple. I said simple-mindedness. That means being open-minded, frank. There was one instance where some visitor from some spiritual organization came to meet Prabhupada. Looks like they were quite popular in the 1960s and 70s. And they said, Swamiji, our message is health, harmony, and happiness for the people on the earth. We want to bring bliss to the earth. Like that, they said. Prabhupada said, oh, that's good. But Prabhupada was point blank and very open-minded in his discussion and very frank in his opinion. He said, but Krishna says, this world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world is miserable and it is temporary. So why should you endeavor to make this world a place of bliss? When Krishna is saying this is not a place of bliss. So, your idea is not good. Prabhupada gave a very strong example. He said, just because you spray some scent in the toilet, you think it will become a nice place to stay? They were like shocked. Oh, what is this example? How can Swamiji speak so point blank like that? So they became very kind of offended, disturbed. And one of the colleagues who came with this party, he stood up and walked off, being thoroughly upset. And the main person of that group also got up and followed. So they later on Prabhupada was telling his disciples, what can I do? This is reality. This is what Krishna has said. If they are becoming disturbed, do you mean I should change the truth for their satisfaction and tell something lie? That I can't do. That is why Chanakya Pandit says, Satyam bruyat ma bruyat. What is that? You better speak the truth if people will take it nicely. If they don't take it nicely, you better don't speak the truth. Satyam bruyat ma bruyat apriyam. Apriyam. If it is pleasing to the people, you speak the truth. Not pleasing, better cover up or keep quiet. Don't speak the truth. Chanakya Pandit says, don't speak the truth. Today people have gone one step ahead, they will cover it up. Chanakya said only don't speak the truth. But we are more, we have updated that quote. So we try to cover up, patch up. No, it's not like this, it's like this and all these things. Try to satisfy people. This is called populist philosophy. Everywhere this is there. Populist philosophy. Everybody wants to be popular in other person's perception and judgment. Everybody wants to be popular. Therefore, don't speak anything, don't tell anything which will hurt others, displease others, which is not to their liking. They will not agree with you. Then they'll go far away from you. They'll not appreciate you. You'll not become popular. You'll not get YouTube thumbs up. There's a thumbs up, small like this. There's one more thumbs down like this. People keep on counting every time you post. How much is thumbs up? How much is thumbs down? How many people like your post? So totally hypocritical. You have to speak the truth. No. You have to speak the truth, but it should not be displeasing others. This is called hypocritical. Just to satisfy others. Appeal to others. You want to speak something, even against Shastra. Okay, material dealings is one thing. Even in spiritual life, people do that. And they become very popular in the world. They become very popular in the world because they speak what people want them to speak, not what Krishna wants you to speak. Sometimes when we go for giving one lecture, people say, Prabhuji, it is good if we speak what people want to hear. You see? See how the invite itself is messed up. Better to speak what people want to hear. Arey, we have nothing to do with what people want to hear. We have, we are here to tell what Krishna wants to speak to you. That will benefit. Hmm? So this we have to keep in mind. So Prabhupada was uncompromising on this principle. Wherever he went, he was completely away from this populist trap, following, completely against all these things. A guru, a genuine guru has nothing to do with following, no business with following. You want to follow, you follow. I am not there to canvass my followers. But I am here to canvass about Lord Krishna, but not canvass about myself. Canvass about Lord Krishna and his teachings. This was Prabhupada's stand and genuinity. That's why you can see the whole world followed Prabhupada. Whole world. People followed Prabhupada because of his simplicity and straightforwardness. Although initially it may be like shaking you up thoroughly, but if you just sit down calmly and think about whatever Prabhupada said is the truth, the reality. He never spoke something false. So that is why it is said, if you associate with devotees and develop these godly qualities, only then you will attain Krishna. In the Bhagavatam, very nice verse, it is described there that Satam prasangam mama virya samvidha bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha tad joshanad ashu apavarga vartmani. Tad joshanad ashu apavarga vartmani. Shraddha ratir bhakti anukramashyati. This is the words spoken by Kapila Muni. He's saying that when you associate with devotees, satam prasangaha. Prasanga means association. Satam means devotees. So satam prasangam mamavirya samvidaha. The association of a Vaishnava is very potent. Virya samvidha. Virya samvidha. Very powerful. Association with a pure devotee of the Lord, like Prabhupada, is very powerful. Mamavirya samvidha. Bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha. How do you take that association? Rasayana kataha. Karna. Bhavanti hrit karna rasayana kataha. How do you take the association? You take association through karna, ears. Rasayana kataha. By hearing the wonderful narrations of Krishna being delineated or explained by the pure devotees of the Lord. So hear Krishna Katha from the pure devotees. So Hrit Karna Rasayana Katha. Then what will happen? Tad Joshanat Ashu Apavarga. Then very soon, Ashu means very soon, Apavarga Vartmani, you will actually become eligible for crossing over this material existence. Apavarga. Pavarga means material life, repeated birth and death. Apavarga Vartmani. You will very soon attain the state of freedom from material existence, material life. Shraddha Bhaktir Ratir Anukramishyati. Very soon you will develop Shraddha on Krishna, attraction to Krishna, pure devotion to Krishna, one after the other, without fail. In the Bhagavatam also, in the very first canto, first chapter, in the very second verse, it is described that Krishna becomes captured in the heart of the devotee who develops eagerness to hear Bhagavatam and becomes attracted by this literature. Krishna becomes Hridyo, Satyo Hridi Avarudyate. Satya Hridi Avarudyate. Immediately, instantly, Hridi, avarudyate. Avarudyate means being captured. Hridi means in the heart. So by hearing this Bhagavatam message, that is why Prabhupada said we are holding these classes daily. So one should hear Bhagavatam very seriously and study Bhagavatam very seriously and take Bhagavatam very seriously. Then Krishna becomes captured in one's heart. But that Bhagavatam hearing should be done from the lips of a pure devotee of Krishna, not from a non-devotee, as per Sanatana Goswami, great authority in the science of bhakti. One should not hear from a non-Vaishnava, one is not a devotee of Vishnu or Krishna. It will not have the desired effect. So one may not be materially very qualified, yet one can attract Krishna's attention very much if one is very simple in his character, in his nature, and develops godly qualities. That will attract Krishna's attention. Not any presentation of material grandeur in terms of knowledge, poetry, skill, money, power, sensory power, mental ability. You may have all of these things. It will not attract Krishna's attention. Then one who is very simple, straightforward, and has godly qualities. We know the instance in Mahabharata when Duryodhana and Vidura, both of them invited Krishna for dining at their respective residences. Duryodhana made very elaborate arrangements for feeding Krishna. Very elaborate arrangements he made for feeding Krishna. Lot of special items, probably 50, 60, 100 items he made with ghee, butter, all these things. And he invited Krishna to his palace, dining hall. 100 times you multiply Taj will be the kind of ambience and aesthetics in the palace dining hall. So Krishna was invited privately to dine. But Krishna had no attraction, neither for those attractive arrangements nor for that attractive food. But Vidura was staying in a small, simple house, and he had made some simple items. Krishna obliged that request and went to Vidura's house and ate some simple prasadam. That's all. Duryodhana was surprised. Hare Krishna had made such elaborate arrangements, you didn't come. So Krishna is not attracted by any material grandness, with no sense of devotion. Just to put a show, I can make so much arrangements. He is not after your arrangements. He wants to sense your sincerity. Bhavagrahi Janardhana. Krishna wants to sense your bhava. Of course, if you are capable, you should arrange a big feast. Even if you are capable, it does not mean that you will offer something simple. You have to offer as per your stature and status. That is also there. But the attitude is very important. Not one of pride. That is why simplicity is not a standalone principle. If one lacks humility and pride, then he is not simple. One may be externally presenting himself as a very simple person, but is full of pride. He is not humble enough, then he is not a simple man. So not easy to actually find out all these things. People get carried away. In the Bhagavad Gita. That's why In the Bhagavad Gita, in 3 places, Krishna talks about this quality of arjavam or simplicity. 3 times Krishna mentions in 3 different contexts. In the first context, Krishna talks about it in the 13th chapter, defining 20 items of knowledge, where Krishna says, arjavam as one of the items of knowledge, being simple. Simplicity is one of the items of knowledge. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa, kshantir arjavam, acharyopasanam shaucham, sthairyamatma, vinigraha. And Krishna goes on. So that Krishna says that amanitvam means being humble. Adambitvam means being prideless. Then Krishna goes on to talk about arjavam, simplicity. So one cannot be considered to be simple if he is not humble and not filled with pride. And if he is filled with pride, then he is not a simple man. In the purport, Prabhupada makes some important points. Just read that. This is in the second paragraph of that verse, describing 20 items of knowledge. Prabhupada says, humility. What is humility? Humility means one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. See how finely Prabhupada is bringing out this idea of what it means to be humble. It's not just an external presentation of oneself. Having simple clothing, yet one can be very proud. One can have a simple dhoti, still one can be very proud. And one can have a very costly attire and be very humble also. So that is why we don't get carried away by these externals. One can be in a small hut, a saintly person typically, yet be very proud. And one can be in a palace and yet be very humble. Both possibilities are there. So people get carried away by all these things, They think devotee means he must be in a hut, not in a palace. Where it is told like that. It is people's concoction. Devotee means he should be walking on the foot, not on a car. Where it is told, it is one's concoction. The humility is in following Krishna's instructions strictly and being in the consciousness of an eternal servant of my Lord and my spiritual master. This is humility. And not being anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. Somebody may think externally, oh, Swamiji is a small hut. That also they will appreciate. See how much Vairagi this Swamiji is. He wants that praise. That is also an anartha. Swamiji is such a big Vairagi. No possessions. May be true, but if you're anxious to get this kind of comment and appreciation, that means he is not humble. He is filled with opposite of humility. He is not a humble person. The Prabhupada says, being anxious. See, people may praise. That is okay. You can't stop people from praising. But are you anxious to get that praise? For that, make up a whole arrangement, what all you should do, so that people will appreciate you, praise you, recognize you, talk about you, all the time monitoring these arrangements, subtly, grossly and subtly. These are not small things, very difficult to identify. So not being anxious. To have the satisfaction of being honored by others. See the satisfaction? See how Prabhupada makes that point? Internally, that being satisfied. It's a very strong, deep-rooted, subtle anartha. People don't even identify. Even the devotee himself does not identify. The sadhu himself may not identify himself. Yet he may be thinking he is spiritually advanced. Prabhupada says, the material conception of life makes one very eager to receive honor from others. See, everybody is living in this world just for honor. What people think about me? How will they look at me? What will they talk about me? What will they tell about me when they go out? After you interact with me, what is your perception about me? What are you thinking about me? What have you judged and concluded about me? All the time, this is the meditation and japa, 16 rounds. Seriously. 24 hours, this is our meditation. The material conception, this is the defect of material life. Karmis always keep fighting and debating with Vaishnavas, devotees. The defect of material life is because we keep on attacking material life. But they should know the defect of material life is this. The material conception of life makes one very eager to receive honor from others. But from the point of view of a man in perfect knowledge, who knows he is not this body, anything, honor or dishonor, pertaining to this body is useless. Awards, recognition, though we may get, we may not deny, but we are not hankering or craving. These 2 points we should underline. Neither a devotee hankers or he craves for. Prabhupada, that's why he says, one should not be hankering after this material deception. How loaded this purport is, every word. One should not be hankering after this material deception. Deception means getting cheated. People are glorifying you. Actually, you are cheated. And your bodily concept only increases more. There is another state where you can receive all the honor on behalf of the Lord and pass on all the credits and honor to the Lord, knowing very well all the credit is of my Lord, not mine. 2 weeks back, I was just thinking about this. You see, we have this body. So I am the person here, sitting, hands, legs, everything. Suppose, if I'm playing cricket, just say, for example, very expertly I am moving the bat and maneuvering the bat in a way that I become a world champion, suppose. Everybody will appreciate, wow, what a hand, how dexterous, how expert. So, when the award is given after winning the match, the award is given to me, not to my hand. The award is given to me, not to my hand. My hand played, but the award is for me. Hand is my part. Similarly, whatever you achieve as an individual in the world, because you are part and parcel of Krishna, the credit is Krishna's. Will anybody give an award to your hand? They'll say Padma Shri, Padma Vibhushan to so-and-so person, personality. So like that, because we are Amsha of the Lord, whatever the Amsha accomplishes, the credit goes to the whole, Purna. It is common sense. But one who's in bodily concept and not humble, externally his words may be expressing humility, but in his inner consciousness, he is craving for honor. He is not a humble person. Then, Prabhupada also talks about being prideless. One more aspect of knowledge. If one is filled with pride, self-pride, thinking, I am so great, I am so capable, I am so intelligent, I have so much influence in the society, so many followers, is filled with pride, completely covered by Maya. Completely covered by Maya. He has no hope of Krishna consciousness. Becoming truly Krishna conscious. That's why without these two aspects, you cannot be regarded as a simple person. So this is one thing Prabhupada is saying here, Krishna is saying here. Then, in the 16th chapter, in the very first 3 verses, Krishna talks about divine qualities, which are very conducive for liberation. 16th chapter. Bhavanti sampadam daivim abhijatasya bharata. Godly men are endowed with divine nature. And Krishna telling Arjuna, don't worry. Because Arjuna was thinking, I'm going to kill, right? That means it's demonic nature. To murder is tantamount to having demonic nature. So Arjuna was concerned, oh, Krishna, how is it a demonic quality has aroused in me to kill my relatives? Krishna is saying, no, Arjuna, you are born with divine nature. Godly men endowed with divine nature. Do not worry. And in describing what does it mean to be godly, Krishna is describing some set of qualities. In that, again, Krishna describes here in the first verse of the 16th chapter. Abhayam satvasham samshuddhir jnana yoga vyavastitihi danam damasya yajnascha swadhyayas tapa arjavam. Again, Krishna using the word arjavam. Second time in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is saying, the Blessed Lord said, fearlessness, abhayam, sattva samshuddhihi, purification of one's existence. Then, jnana yoga vyavastitihi, cultivation of spiritual knowledge. Then, danam, giving charity to an eligible candidate. Shastra say, Brahmanas, Vaishnavas, Sannyasis are eligible for receiving charity, not others, who are engaged in the service of the Lord. Then, damaha, self-control, yagnaha, performing sacrifices to please Lord Vishnu, not for fulfilling one's material purposes. Then swadhyaya, study of scriptures. That's what we are doing here. The Bhagavatam class is swadhyaya. It's a divine quality. Attending class is a divine quality because studying Shastra. Then tapaha, austerity. To sit for the class also is initially an austere activity. But later on, as our anarthas reduce, we will relish hearing Krishna Katha, reading Krishna Katha, being in the association of devotees. Then arjavam means simplicity. So here Krishna is again stressing, bringing up the point of arjavam as one of the divine qualities possessed by godly men, divine natured men. Then again in the 18th chapter, in describing the qualities of a Brahmana, Krishna again brings up this point of arjavam. Shamo dhama tapa shaucham kshantir arjavam evacha jnana vijnana mastikyam brahma karma svabhavacham. So there again Krishna says the qualities of a Brahmana being very simple. One place Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is easy for those who are simple-minded and very complex for those who are complex-minded or crooked nature persons. It is not easy. Prabhupada made the statement. One place in a conversation, Prabhupada said, our life is very simple. We do not want luxury. Then immediately somebody may counter saying, then why these grand temples and arrangements and so many vehicles in the temple? We should walk by foot. And have a simple temple. Why the temple should be simple? Temple is for Krishna. So temple should be grand. Your dwelling place may be simple. Our dwelling place may be simple. Then somebody may say, then why accept so many facilities, infrastructure? Why move in cars? You should move by foot, Swamiji, Prabhuji. They don't understand the principle. You may go in car and be filled with pride. You may go by foot and still will be filled with pride of getting honor. So Rupa Goswami says, our stand is, we are neither attached to material possessions, nor we are detached from material possessions. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's philosophy, which he taught to the Goswamis. Neither we are attached to material facilities, nor we are detached to the material facilities. What is useful in the service of Krishna, we accept it happily. Anukulyasya sankalpaha, pratikulyasya varjanam. We calculate, we determine, we ascertain. Is it useful in the service of Krishna? Let me accept it. Is it not useful, or is it detrimental? Not good? Reject it. It may be the best of things, still we will reject it. As per material estimation, it may be the best of things, we will reject it. The karmis or the materialistic people may think, oh, these are naive devotees. They don't know how to use things. We may reject it if it is not useful in the service of Krishna. But if it is useful, we don't mind accepting anything, even at the cost of being criticized by society members. Like when devotees travel by vehicle, car, sometimes people think, oh, earlier Swamiji, you were coming by auto, now you are coming by car, is it? So they think, okay, you have also upgraded yourself. Nothing to the upgrading here. Like Prabhupada was asked, Swamiji, why are you using flight mode? So Prabhupada said, or why are you using vehicles, cars to travel? Prabhupada said, you see, if I had to go to America, it will take months together if I had to go by a ship. But if I can cut down the time and take a flight and reach America in 16 hours and 18 hours, I save so many days for preaching and Krishna's service, instead of simply uselessly wasting my time in traveling in the waters, in the ship. So much time I save, I can meet so many people. So this is called Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha Yuktam Vairagya Muchyate. Internally I am detached. That means I have no craving. That means if that facility is not given, you should not die. If the facility is not there, we don't die for it. Like a materialistic person, his bread and butter is that only. His soul is there. His soul is there. Our soul is not there in the infrastructure arrangement. But we don't mind accepting it carefully in the service of Krishna, without becoming attached to it. So this principle, we have to understand and appreciate. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandha. After all, car by itself is not Maya. Aeroplane by itself is not Maya. The idea of enjoying that aeroplane, enjoying the car travel is what is the anartha or the contamination. Idea of enjoying this facility. You may use the facility without enjoying. Not easy. That's the practice. This is what Rupa Goswami has taught us. Use it in the service of Krishna. You can take a car, meet the person fast, and meet 5 more people. Instead of meeting only 2 people, you can meet 10 people because you have a vehicle. You can go by foot also. But we want to be more efficient in preaching. That's all. There is no other reason for using a car otherwise. There's no other reason. Or even any material facility. People are surprised we use gadgets, we use computers. They think it is Maya. What is Maya? Maya means if it is you who is the center, it is Maya. If it is Krishna, the center, is not Maya. If you want to enjoy and exploit the facility, that is Maya. If you want to exploit the same facility for Krishna, who is anyway the owner, how it is Maya? How it is Maya? If I use the computer for Krishna's service, how it is Maya? If I'm using it for my purpose, then that is Maya. So this principle has to be appreciated. So we should see the proper use in the service of Krishna. Neither hankering nor craving for the facility, but at the same time, if the facility is offered, we should be very glad to accept them and improve our service to the Lord. So, but finally, our goal is to develop these divine qualities. As you practice Krishna consciousness, automatically all the godly qualities will manifest in the person of a devotee. This is what Shastras promises. Krishna consciousness promises us. Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunays tatra samasate suraha. Automatically all the good qualities, godly qualities will manifest in the devotee. If he is sincerely following the principles of bhakti, detachment, proper detachment from these material objects, proper attachment to Krishna, and proper use of people and things in the service of the Lord, all these things will automatically develop in the devotee as he progresses. And this will attract Krishna very much. So our goal ultimately is to become a pure devotee of Krishna. One place Prabhupada was asked by his disciples, after a lot of success in ISKCON from many fronts, many Prabhupada disciples asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, what is most pleasing to you? They thought that if we open more centers, if we make more devotees, if we distribute more books, this, that and all. Prabhupada said, if you become a pure devotee of Krishna, it's the most pleasing to me. You see? How frankly and naturally Prabhupada will speak all these things. He realized so, because he's living like that. If you become a pure devotee of Krishna, most pleasing to me. Like that. Because here Krishna himself is saying why he has become the son of Prishni and Sutapa, because of their godly qualities. And Krishna is saying, I have become famous because of you. I become recognized as Prishni Garbha. That's why the last point I will close here. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his conversation with Vallabha Bhatta, very interesting. Vallabha Bhatta brought out a long discussion to present to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu what all his realization about Krishna, Krishna's names, Krishna's qualities, like that, he wanted to present Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, wait. Mahaprabhu, please read. No, wait. He said, I only know 2-3 names of Krishna. What is this big book you have brought about Krishna's different names and qualities? I don't know any of those things. I only know 2-3 names of Krishna. Krishna is Yashoda Nandana, Brajendra Nandana, Nanda Nandana. That's all I know. Only 2-3 names of Krishna I know. So Prabhupada explains, what did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mean? Krishna is known only in connection with his devotees. Yashoda Nandana. Yashoda Nandana means one who is very dear to Yashoda. Nanda Nandana means one who is very dear to Nanda Maharaj. Brajendra Nandana, one who is very dear to the inhabitants of Brajabhumi, Vrindavanda. The inhabitants of Vrindavan, Krishna is very dear. So Krishna's name is always associated with his devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I only know these names of Krishna. Those names all I don't know what you are saying. My mind is not capable of understanding what you are saying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. You see, that means actually he is actually teaching Vallabha, don't become too much proud that you know too much about Krishna. Minus the devotees. Krishna is very attached to his devotees, and he is attached to his devotees because of their godly divine qualities. Like that. So that is our goal, why we have come to this Krishna consciousness movement, and we should not divert from this focus in the course, because we just get diverted due to so many reasons. We get pulled off. So this should be our focus. Then it will attract Krishna's attention. Stop here. Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.